I'm not exaggerating when I tell you I feel like I'm living in 1930s Germany. I'm going to tell you guys, go get that book that I told you about. The book, the little girl, it's her diary, the diary of Anne Frank. The people had their IDs, like real IDs. They had their IDs marked with the Star of David. And if your ID had that mark on it, I'm sorry if you fall into the hands of the German police. You understand? I'm going to tell you this. I really do feel that some people who are here need to just leave. The temporary protective status that the T. Bidens have, unless they change their status, they're going to automatically be illegal. So to come back later, it's going to affect your status to come back after 4 years. Because you're going to have a mark on your record now that you overstay your visa, you overstay something. You understand? And they came here the right way. They came here the right way. They didn't come on the boat. They came on the airplane. I seen them in the airport. I'm going to tell you guys this. A lot of people who are, and a lot of these immigration lawyers, they ought to be ashamed. And I follow a few on TikTok. They're telling people, the ones that are telling people that and I'm not a lawyer, but they're telling people that you can travel with a green card. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. As long as you didn't commit any serious crimes. And I'm telling you, even if you committed some petty crime, even if you got a ticket, even if you protested, even if you didn't do any crime at all and they check your phone and they feel like you're sympathizing with, some country that they don't like, you're now an enemy of the state. If I was on temporary protective status, I would leave. I would leave. Especially since the concentration camp is now El Salvador's maximum security prison. And you don't get no hearing. You don't get to see a judge. I feel like Haiti got better, I don't know what you call it, like justice system. This is why I feel like I'm in 1930s Germany, and it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. That was a hiccup. But it does hurt my heart. Even just to watch it. Just to watch it. It's like watching a slow train wreck. And when I read that book in like the 3rd or 4th grade, I remember saying to myself, why didn't these people leave? Why didn't they leave the country? These countries lock. They lock countries. They make ban lists. They lock countries. They restrict visas. As a child, I didn't realize that. I never lived through countries being locked. I never lived through lockdowns. I never lived through that type of situation. But I have. I've lived long enough that I have. I've seen checkpoints, like in Haiti, during the, when Minister was there, the Brazilians were there. Those peacekeepers, that was their job, honey. They were in the streets every day. They were serious about this job. They didn't just stay in their little base, honey. They came out every day. They were the first trucks rolling down the street when the sun was coming up, was Minister. And they set up these checkpoints. And they would check your car, your license, your every something. If there was a criminal, honey, they had helicopters. They had more than just a little toy drone. I'm not criticizing nobody, but they had helicopters. Okay, they would track them ninjas down, because we had gangs back then too. We had criminals back then too. But, and I used to think in my head, wow, when I saw these checkpoints, because I never lived through checkpoints. But now in the United States, immigrants are scared to go to the hospital. Immigrants are scared to send their kids to school. Do you understand? Immigrants are scared to just be driving, to even go to work. Immigrants are like Anne Frank. They're just stuck in the house. And it hurts my heart to see people live like that, because I love freedom too much. That's why France asked for their Statue of Liberty back. And, France got nerve. They really got what they done did to African countries, okay? And Haiti. France got a nerve, but I digress. But what I'm telling you is the world is standing back and they're looking in, and we're like frogs in a pot. As the temperature goes up, we don't notice. And I remember as a child thinking when I read that book, because we all had to go to the library and pick out a book. We had to read it. We had to write a report on it. And I remember thinking, why didn't these people leave? And I don't want to be trapped in a country that I'm not wanted in, where I am hunted down and mistreated and abused. If you don't let me leave. My baby girl will be 18 in just a few short weeks. I'm going to get her passport. And I told my other children, make sure you have your passport. And of course they think, it's just mom. She done lit a candle. She done had a dream. No, it's history repeating itself. It don't take no deck of cards.